Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Baron here. Now, this is patch 1.45 preview. Quick note is that I am a little sick. Pardon that, I just got back from driving real tanks, which I'll go into later, but let's look at new planes. There's a F2H2 Banshee, okay? It's looking pretty nice. Now we're gonna hop over to the Germans. In aviation, although there are some new tanks which we'll take a look at. So there's an Arado change. They basically just updated it now. Doesn't have any guns or anything like that. Yep, so I think they just updated the model of it, so nothing too crazy there. The Russians have an I-16 Type 10. Where are you at right here? So it's a tier 1 battle rating of 2.0 compared to, you know, some of the other ones you may be accustomed to, blah, 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 right? That's not why we're here. Britain, the Canberra. It's basically a newer one. This one having 4 20mm Hispanos, so watch out, you IL-28 scourge of the jet skies. And then the Japanese, we have the J2M3. Raiden, and then there's another new boy where you at the Kai-43-3. So imagine the crazy maneuverability of the Hayabusa, but this time you have 2 20mm cannons, only with 60 rounds each. But this thing's gonna be a turn fighter extraordinaire with some up-armed weaponry. So now let's look at the tanks. Oh, what is this? An army tab for the Americans? So if you haven't seen any of my other videos, there's a lot of previews I have previewing what the tanks that are going to come. At this point in the dev server test, we're only going to get a deal with the reserve and tier 1 tank here. The M2A4 is the reserve, and then the M3, which will be a light tank at tier 1. So you get a reserve and a tier 1. What's also cool is you can see the machine guns in both of these. Now, machine guns is not too difficult to fire. Only certain tanks have the machine gun. The M2A4 does not, and the M3 does. So let's hop over to the Germans here. And they have a new Panzer 3J sitting at tier 1. And then there's the J1, which is a little up armored. Both have the 50mm guns. And now there's a new Panzer 4E right here, you can see. But I know, right? You guys are excited for this stuff. So we've got the Tiger Porsche. Where? What? Oh, I did it wrong. I did it wrong. Preview. Right? Yeah, a little obnoxious, but we had to do it. Get that Facebook stuff going on. Yeah. So the Porsche, and then there is the Panzer Befehlswagen Porsche. So this one, actually, I wanted to see. They are turret armor. 100, 102, 100, 102. Interesting. Anyway, but yeah, so you've got 2 new Tigers. These are premiums, though, so you know a lot of noobs are going to be running around with Tiger tanks, which is going to be kind of funny, but it's something that players want. They want the Porsche Tiger tank, and it makes sense that'd be a premium. And then finally, let's take a look at the Russians. Das Vidanya. We have a BT-5, which is at a reserve tier. Interestingly enough, slightly different than the BT-7. And then we have something rather special, and you just got to see this thing. This is the SMK. It's basically an extended KV-1 with a KV-1 turret here, and then you basically, kind of roughly speaking, have a T-26 turret on the front of it. And then you have this giant-ass machine gun sitting off the back. This is another land battleship. It's pretty cool. This one's sitting at tier 2. And then finally you have the M4A2. This one's the 76, interestingly enough. Huh. Yep. So the M4A2 is the Marine version that was lend-leased over to the Russians. So this makes complete sense that it was a premium. To be perfectly honest, between you and me, I think that the Russians should have had a Sherman well before the Germans did, but it was kind of cool that the Germans had it. So we've got ourselves a new tank. Now, let's drive all of them. So I'm going to be posting up videos. Check the video description below. When videos become available, they will go there. Let me know in the comments section which things you would like me to play first. Obviously, I'm going to pump out as many as I can right now, but going forward, as I've done with my tank series, I take your thoughts into mind. You know, the most upvoted, the most requested, those are the things I do. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys are most interested to see. And I'll make sure to pull the trigger on the like button and subscribe if you're new here. And I'll see you soon. Oh, and if you wanted to get a little preview on some of those real tanks I was talking about, go ahead and head over to my Instagram. Links in the video description. Cheers!